Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a bench press day. And today I pretty much kept with what I've been doing. I did back the volume down one set on the bench and the chin-ups today, and the reason for that, I had a ridiculous amount of DOMs in my pecs all through the weekend. And I realized, man, this type of training for my chest on the bench is really effective for me to be doing all these wide grip pause reps, flat back for high reps. So I'm going to have to ease into it a hair, but I feel that the overall volume is going to be really, really good. And the same thing, because I added pullovers in, I went a little easier on the curls and the extensions. I only did 3 sets of each. And again, the reason for it, I wanted to up the weight a little bit. I wanted to take sets real close to failure. And because I added chin-ups in, right, I rotated my pull-ups for chin-ups. And here's the reason. Right now, obviously, pecs need to come up, but arms are my biggest weakness. I need my training to really, really be geared towards arms and chest. And my back development is great. It's not a weak link. I can do just as many pull-ups as I can chin-ups, by the way. I've noticed that. I got 11 on the first set, and then I just did 10 after all that, and they were challenging. I'm not particularly stronger on chins, and I can feel my bicep weakness, right? I can feel my bicep weakness. So biceps have to be a priority. So I feel like if I build up to doing 5 sets of chins and 5 sets of curls on both my upper days, that's going to be a lot of bicep work. But again, by that same token, because I did chins, I'm like, I don't want to overuse the biceps just yet. I need to ease into this and build these volumes up just a hair. Because again, that's going to end up being 20 sets for biceps every week. That's a lot of volume. It's a lot of volume. So, again, with the benching, the same thing, because I did the pullovers, I did that. So the reason for the pullovers, I feel like I have pretty dang good volume with this benching and then the extensions, but I feel like the pullovers are almost necessary for my shoulder health, and I didn't like pulling them out. But again, that's going to be a lot of volume to ease into, because if we count those pullovers as a chest and a long head to the tricep, that's a lot of volume again. But again, some of it we have to question of, do we count the bench as a long head? I don't think that we really can. Not with high rep benching. So it's still going to probably be, 20 sets for each of the individual tricep heads. So, as I build into it, but I really like the idea of doing 5 sets of each of these exercises. But I also want to push the performance on the extensions and the curls. And I felt like when I did it this way, I was able to really get into them and not really leave much in the tank. So it lets me know what I'm capable of. But the benching, even the 4 sets of 10 with this, right? This was tough. And I'm getting outside of the rings now. I'm getting my pinkies and stuff outside the rings at this point. I'm trying to again, bench quite wide. And the pectoral DOMs is really good. And I've noticed it on these. I feel the entire pec. I feel all the way up to the clavicle, all the way down into my rib cage, down at the base. So the whole chest is getting a pump. Now the thing with this too, my biceps got a great pump, because I'm doing these chins, and I'm trying to do a lot of these. You'll notice on a lot of them I pause for a couple seconds at the bottom. Again, my range of motion is what it is. It's much better than it was because I've been doing the pullovers, but I feel like I've got to leave those in. One of the things I did last night too, I noticed my shoulders felt a little fatigued. I did some band pull-aparts, and then I did them again to warm up before I benched today. And I've noticed my shoulders, it helped open that up a lot too. So the things that I'm going to need to work on are going to be, I think, the band work for the pull-aparts and things. And I'm doing them with a supine grip, and they continue to do the pullovers. I feel like that's what I really, really need for my shoulder health and shoulder mobility to continue. So again, I'm going to take it from a couple of approaches, but also we're going to try to do a lot more pausing on the chins, right? It's my first time doing these again, so I want to start coming to all the reps. I'm going to start doing more and more of them from that dead stop. Because again, I want to get the most out of the exercise, right? It's not about how many chins can I crank out. It's how much muscle growth can I stimulate? You know, now the debate that we get into those on the chin-ups versus the pull-ups is really about upper back, right? I feel like the lat involvement is similar, and I think most people agree that pull-ups are a little better for the upper back. Chin-ups are better for the biceps. It's most coaches, most experts, I think, largely agree on that point. But again, my back development is not really an issue, and I think since I'm going to be deadlifting for a little volume now too, I think we're going to be in a good place, particularly also with the pullovers added in. I'm not worried about any of that being neglected. I mean, I'm going to have a lot of volume there still. But again, the name of the game is hypertrophy. You know, and this is one of the things that comes up too. People are like, "Are you worried about losing strength?" No, because I'm doing a lot of full range of motion hypertrophy work, and I'm still maintaining the movement patterns of my squat, bench, and deadlift. So even if I'm doing a lot of really high rep stuff, as I'm cutting down and I focus on body composition, as long as I build muscle, the strength potential will stay there. I'm not worried about my power lifts going down. And keep in mind, there's staples in my training. It's just that I'm doing, about 4 or 5 other exercises in addition to the big 3. Okay. So what are we doing at this point? Tricep extensions, laying ones, curls. Curls are going to count as one of my big ones. Chins, right? Calf raises, hanging leg raises. But notice there's a big bias towards arms and all of this. Why? Because my arms are my weak link. I feel like, just pull-ups in the big 3 build everything but my arms, right? It builds everything but my arms. Also, by that same token, though, I feel like this other stuff will bring up my bench over time. Build muscle in the right places, bench will come up. Bench will come up. And I am really questioning, though, do I even need to put more weight on the bar than 2 plates, 3 plates, 4 plates for my big 3 and just rep those out, build work capacity with those weights. And I think at this point in the game for me, I can do that. And it's a lot easier on things like my joints. It's a lot easier on my joints. The only thing that has been bothering me a little lately is the shoulders, but it feels like they get crampy when I sleep. And I noticed it yesterday. It wasn't at any point after training last week, but I went and did some band pull aparts, and it felt like everything opened up. And I think what some of it is just all the work I'm doing with a lot of the mobility. Sometimes when I'm laying there sleeping, my body's like, "What are you doing to me?" And it almost feels like it's fighting back. It's hard to describe. It doesn't like the fact that I've been opening all this stuff up in some ways. Sometimes it feels great. But the thing I noticed, I went and did a couple sets of the band pull aparts late last night and then laid back down in bed. Everything felt relief. Everything just opened back up. And so I think the thing that I'm going to have to stay on top of is really looking at working every day to make sure everything stays opened up. Don't give it several days, because I had no problems with any of that last week. I trained Thursday, Friday, and then Sunday evening, everything is really tight. 48 hours with no movement. Okay, there's my pattern. So I think stuff like some band pull aparts, it would be a good idea for me to just do some of those every day. Work on opening up all of that shoulder, all of the subacromial process, everything. The other thing I noticed too, my tricep DOMs and my right arm have been extreme the last few days. Almost to the point I was worried I injured myself, but I dug a massager into the right one there, and it alleviated it quite a bit. So again, what are we noticing here? I'm getting DOMs and muscles that I really want to bring up. So interesting. Just interesting notes. And these are things that we have to note. In these vlogs, I like to document these things, what's going on with everything. All right. And I notice again as I'm doing the cutting, I feel like the lower back looks almost squishier right now. But a lot of it is I've adjusted my diet a little. I've replaced the fat pretty much with carbs from Saturday on. And in some ways that may tighten it up. People who saw my shopping cart have an idea. So what am I eating right now? A lot of protein. So it's like Fairlife milk or Mootopia, depending on if I can get the Fairlife certain days. Egg whites, chicken breast tenderloins, they're a little leaner. Right, those are my animal source stuff for the most part right now. And I'm doing those every day. Beans and rice for carbs. And then lots of vegetables. The vegetables I've been eating the last few days has been broccoli, spinach, red bell peppers, right? And these things can be subject to change. I mean, I can rotate some oats and other stuff in, but definitely beans and rice are kind of a staple carb. And then I always have vegetables and chicken mixed in there. All right, so we did those, and I noticed I could handle a little more weight. Those extensions got stronger. So I'm kind of happy with that. I feel like at this point, maybe for work sets, I might be able to go ahead and put a blue plate, a 45 on each side of that easy curl bar, and I bet I can probably get 10s. Right, I don't know. We'll try it. We'll try it soon. But I feel like I need to go up a hair because I was getting 12, 13 reps on every set there, without failing. So I probably need to bump it up a little bit more. I'm not sure how much yet. All right. But like the curls, that's a good weight. It's really challenging. But again, I've got to get tension for high reps. I need basically my 10 plus rep maxes to be going up on these movements. I've got to get my arms bigger. And then this is the final set of pullovers. Again, just did 3 sets of these at the end just because I didn't do them for a week. I wanted to get them back into the rotation. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.